Hello, this is how to install and use the application RDCMan, Remote Desktop Connection Manager, which is a graphical user interface application which allows you to connect to various remote desktop protocol RDP servers. Has a tree view with the servers that you can connect to or Windows computers, allows you to group those connections, allows you to set individual settings for the various connections. It's an application from Microsoft's Sysinternals suite. I'm actually going to install the Sysinternals suite. It's a zip file. I usually place this into a temporary directory named c:\temp, and then another subdirectory named bin. So the full path is c:\temp/bin. Downloads, extract Sysinternals suite, and then copy the entire or move the entire directory. Right click, cut, and move it to c:\temp/bin. Paste. So I have all of the Sysinternals suite, which contains the graphical user interface applications for managing processes, Process Explorer, the application for monitoring processes, which is Procmon, and I also have the application that we're talking today about, which is RDCMan. This one, rdcman.exe. Let's start it. In the left-hand side, there's the tree view with connections. First of all, we need to create a file that stores the connections and the various settings for each individual connection. File, new, and we're going to select documents and name this anything. Actions. Next step is to add a remote desktop protocol connection. Right click. Let's look at the default properties. Let's configure the settings. So remote desktop settings don't inherit from parent color depth maximum, which is 32. And we want same as client area. If we resize the RDCMan Remote Desktop Connection Manager window and we reconnect to the RDP server, then the resolution of the RDP server should be exactly the size of the RDCMan window. That's about it. And now we can start adding computers. The name for a computer that you can connect to using RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol, in this product is called a server. And you can group servers in groups. So the server name is this. Logon credentials, don't inherit, admin, domain dot. Let's put a password in here. And you can connect either by double clicking on this tile. Don't ask again, yes. or by clicking in here, right click and then connect. Or by double clicking on the server. Now let's see what disconnecting means. We are connected to the remote desktop protocol server. This computer, we have running a graphical user interface session, logged in as the user admin. And in this graphical user interface session, we also have the application notepad started in the top right corner of the screen. If we disconnect and then reconnect, nothing really happened. The graphical user interface session continues to exist. All of the applications that we have open continue to be open. So what we actually do is we just temporarily close the TCP connection to the remote desktop protocol server. That's all we do. Everything on the remote computer remains the same sessions, the same applications opened, everything. If you actually want to stop being logged on in the graphical user interface session on the remote computer, we actually need to log out the user session. So that would be from the Windows Start menu, click on the user, and then go sign out. So in order to actually completely close the session that exists on the remote computer, you want to log out your user. If you just want to temporarily not be connected using the remote desktop protocol server connection, but continue having your graphical user interface session, you just disconnect the RDP connection. You can disconnect the RDP connection. The simplest way to do it is to just close the RDCMan window. Are you sure? Yes, it's benign to actually close the remote desktop connection manager window because all of the graphical user interface sessions will be unchanged, and you can pick up from where you left whenever you just restart the RDCMan window. And now, because we have changed the RDG file, because we have added another computer, the one with IPv4 address ending with 17, we want to actually save the settings of this computer 17 to the rdcman connections.rdg file. Yes. And now, when we just want to start using an RDP client application, we start the application c:\temp/bin/sysinternals rdcman.exe. Automatically, it offers that we open a list of RDP connections. We can open all of them, for instance, or just one. What this provides is we can connect in graphical user interface mode to the remote computer in the best possible way, which means fastest, best performance. Everything is really snappy. The graphical user interface, the pixels look great. Pixel depth 32 pixels. We can immediately start working on the remote computer as if we would work on the host computer, on the local computer. And then using Remote Desktop Connection Manager, we get two extra features, which is this tree view of computers. We might have tens of computers that we connect to via remote desktop protocol regularly. So do have them all here. Make sure you're not saving the password, because I'm not exactly sure where the password is saved. In my case, it's just throwaways virtual machines. There's no problems with me saving the password, even if it's saved unencrypted in the RDG file. But for you, do consider how you actually store the passwords of the users that connect to the remote computers via remote desktop protocol. And then the second feature, which is really important to me, is the fact that I can resize the remote desktop connection manager RDCMan window, for instance, like this. Then I can hide the tree view in the RDCMan main menu, view, server tree visibility, hide. I can resize the window any way I want. And then by just reconnecting to the remote desktop protocol computer, which is session reconnect. So from RDCMan main menu, session, and then reconnect. The correct resolution will be used on the remote computer. I want exactly the interior of this window to be the resolution of the remote computer. You can even see the exact resolution of the remote computer should be something really strange. Display settings can be changed from a remote session. Okay, but it should say what the resolution is. This means there's no stretching. Everything looks as expected. And then, because we're using remote desktop protocol connection, we have the additional features of the remote desktop protocol, which means we can, for instance, copy paste text. Let's see that. Copy paste from the RDP client window to the RDP server window works okay. Back. From the RDP server to the RDP client also works okay. We can also transfer files. Let's see how that works. Let's put this readme. Copy and paste. So copy files, probably again bidirectional from the RDCMan client to the RDP server. And there's even more features. You can use a USB device that's on the local computer, use it on the remote computer. You can use other hardware devices that exist on the local computer on the remote computer, and there's also Windows shares. This thing. So an SMB Windows shares connection named TS client, so / TS client. This should present at least the home directory of the user, of the Windows user, from the local computer, on the remote computer. I'm not exactly sure how to configure this. This is a detail from the remote desktop protocol. You can see the various settings that we did for that computer. In here, you can change the things that you want shared from the local computer towards the remote computer and back. So you can have remote sound from the remote computer being played back on the local computer. You can have the Alt Tab key work on the remote computer, in this case when you enter full screen mode. Copy paste of text via clipboard and files. But you can also share Windows drives from the local computer to the remote computer. And that's it. That's why I think that the RDCMan RDP client is superior to the built-in RDP client that exists in Windows, which is this application, Remote Desktop Connection. Two different applications. One is built in into Windows, called Remote Desktop Connection. The other one is still created by Microsoft, but it's from the Sysinternals suite, and it's named RDCMan, or Remote Desktop Connection Manager. RDCMan is superior because it has more features. It allows me to remember the connections that I have, and it allows me to do the reconnect session reconnect in order to not have to scroll left, right, or up, down in the remote desktop client application. Thank you.